Folks, Corey Hinde, hope you're doing really well. So this video is called the SEO Warrant of Fitness, which refers to search engine optimization, warrant of fitness, health checkup, things you should do regularly. I might just get myself out of the way. So this came about because some of our members in our paid group have been asking things like, hey, my website's been ranking well, haven't done much with it for the last year. What are some things I should do? What are some checkups I should do, etc., to keep myself ranking well, going well on Google and other search options as time unfolds. And when I say that, I mean things like ChatGPT, etc. So what we're finding is that good SEO fundamentals is what's helping people get found on other things as well. So before I rip into the content, I'll just run through some of the options that you've got for this video. Okay, so you kind of got four options here. You can watch it yourself here on YouTube and do it for free. So work through the checklist. Cool, that's up to you. The next option would be that you go over to Gumroad when it's there, which will be soon, and grab the actual document. So you'll see this document over here that I'm working through for the video. It's got a whole bunch of stuff, and when you grab it yourself, you can tick the boxes, work through it. Pretty cool. So you can do that as an option, pay the $10 to get that. Yep, I've got bills to pay too. So this pub doesn't serve free beer. So go and do that if you like to. Option 3 would be to join my paid group, and I'll help you do it. So my paid group members have this in there, and they're going to work through that. And as they hit roadblocks or have questions, they can ask me the questions. We can work through it with them. Or I'll do this for you. So you can just contact me, reach out, and I can do it for you. And there's obviously a fee for that because it'll take me quite some time and also the expertise to get that done. So there are your options. You've got the free option. You've got the pay for the worksheet option with all the links. You've got the paid group option, and you've got the pay Corey option as well. Right, so let's get back to it. And if you go back to the old days, you'll remember that websites were built and they just sat there and not much happened. This is some old websites. Hopefully your website looks nothing like this. So let's kill off that idea, almost a bit of a joke. So these are some things you should work through. If you've got the sheet, actually go through them and tick the boxes, okay? Now, before we get into the work, this video will be a while. Make sure you work through the whole list to make sure that your website is as sexy to Google and other search engines as it can be now. So make sure you work through the lot. I want you to watch this video first. Okay, so if you go to my YouTube channel, see this one here, how to get found on Google for new websites. That's got some really cool tasks you should work through to make sure you're getting found initially. Directories to list on, all that good stuff. So go there, fly through that. That video there has the worksheet in the video description for free. Okay, so go to that one, get that description, the document in the description, work through that. That one is free. Okay, but for this one now, the ultra useful one that we're working through right now, you're going to have to watch the video, and I'll be clicking onto these so you can see where they are. You can watch the video, have it open on one browser and work through it. It'll take a bit of time, but it's well worth it because as we know, the people that get found best on search, whether that's Google Business Profile, Google Maps, ChatGPT, whatever, the businesses up the top for every category get way more free leads than everybody else. So this is really, really useful. We get businesses all the time reaching out for this sort of stuff because they know paid traffic costs money. Social media traffic costs a lot of time. Google traffic or organic search can be so useful. And once you're up there, you're up there. So let's work through. We've got 9 areas to work through. And most of this stuff, a couple of disclaimers, this doesn't guarantee anything. So I can't promise you that doing this will get you to rank above your major competitor. I can't promise you that your business is going to turn around, but it could. It definitely could. We've seen some of these things happen, and we've seen websites jump up to page 1 of Google very quickly, resulting in lots of leads. So let's get through the work. So the technical health area, make sure your site loads in under 3 seconds. Okay, so we'll tick through that. There's a couple of options for that. Page speed insights is the one. So on the worksheet, when we click there, you'll see the link. Okay, so page speed insights, just pop your URL there and it'll take you through and make sure that your website is fast. Make sure your website is mobile friendly. So you could Google mobile friendly test and you'll find a few options there. We've got one linked here as well. So that's generally any website that's built in the last few years will tick this box quite easily. Now, this one's a ripper. Make sure there's no broken links on your site, either coming in or going out from your website. The Ahrefs tool is really awesome. I'll click on it and show you. So there's Ahrefs has got some really cool free stuff. You'll see on this page it's got the backlink checker, the website authority checker, the broken link checker. You pop your website in there and it'll tell you any links anywhere in your website that are broken and need to be replaced or updated. So very, very useful to go through that. Ahrefs, I don't have a paid Ahrefs subscription. I'm not affiliated with them at all, but I use their free stuff all the time. Next one is to make sure your website is HTTPS. There's a really cool checker there. You can just Google that as well. SSL checker, you can Google that and find that. And then the last part of the technical side of SEO, when you're in business, you'll get these emails all the time from people saying, hey, do you want an SEO audit, blah, blah, blah. Oftentimes they'll just run your website through a whole bunch of free audit tools, which are kind of useful. They'll pick up any glaring deficiencies with the technical build of your website, like, there's a whole bunch of things. So we've got a resource here. If you click on there, it'll take you through to a Gumroad tool we've got. It's free of charge, and it's got a whole bunch of free SEO tools you can run your website through. So that's a really cool resource. Don't overthink it. Pick a couple of those tools and work through it, and you'll pick up any major glaring difficulties with your website. Some of these things are already above there, like is it mobile friendly? Does it load fast? All that sort of stuff. Probably my favorite thing here for websites that have been around for a while and are really looking to run their site through a bit of a Warrant of Fitness checkup is this one here, the broken links. Because if you write content and link to other places, often those links will disappear. This happens to our website all the time. Like I check this often. We've got a few right now we need to check as well. Anyone that does blogs on their site, this will happen quite often, so do that. Index and crawlability, what does that mean? So hopefully you are on Google Search Console. Google Search Console tells you all about your website, how it appears on search, and it's got data about the clicks, the impressions, the words you show up for. So hopefully you're on there. Now, if you're not on Google Search Console, you should be, and we've got an article there that you can click on. If you just Google good oil marketing, how to get on Google Search Console, you'll find it as well. Again, don't want to give up too much, but you need to get on Google Search Console. Very important. It is a place that will tell you if there's any problems with your website. It'll tell you about the words, backlinks, a whole bunch of things. So hopefully you are on Google Search Console. Let's tick that one there. What you'll find on Google Search Console as well is there's areas that they'll display any manual actions or penalties. So if you go to the left-hand side of Google Search Console, you'll see manual actions and penalties. So if there's some sort of an issue with your website, you'll see it pop up there. You'll usually get an email as well to say, oh, we've penalized your website for this or that. We never see this because our websites that we monitor or work with are always done the right way. But the other thing you want to look at is steep drop-offs. So if you're looking at your Google Search Console traffic curve, you'll see hopefully it's at least static or increasing in terms of impressions and clicks. If there is a steep drop off, you want to have a look at that and try and figure out why. And that will be where you go to an SEO expert and maybe start that conversation. Hey, Corey, look at this. What do you think's happening? Usually the first thing we would do is we'll go back to those manual actions and manual penalties, index issues, that sort of stuff as well. You'll also see in there an indexing tab. You won't always have all of your pages indexed, and you'll often get emails saying you have an indexing issue with this page or that page. The main thing is that to realize that Google does not index everything. That means indexing means they know it's there. It's on their big database they look at. It just means that they've got a limited budget. They can't index every page on the internet. So the main point here is be on Google Search Console and be checking that regularly because it's very important. Okay, let's move along. So on-page SEO. What this means is the things on the page that Google picks up. So you'll see it says here meta titles and descriptions. So when you do When you look at a Google search, you'll see the meta title comes through. I might just pause this and show you one actually. You'll see those come through. So a meta title, for example, if you just search up my name, for example, this is the meta title for that URL. URL is here. That's the URL. The website link is the URL. The meta title is what you click on in blue. And then the meta description is down the bottom here. Now, these meta descriptions aren't always exactly what's in your meta description tool on your website. Sometimes Google will grab some words from the middle of the page, but this is all on-page stuff, okay? So if we go back to here, we've got meta titles and descriptions are there. They're a bit different and they're compelling. So what we use for this now, which is really cool, is the Mangles Chrome extension. So you'll see in blue here, use the free Mangles Chrome extension. That is this little thing up the top here, okay? It's a free tool from Mangles. That's our preferred SEO tool that we use. And when you press on that, it'll tell you a little bit of information about that page, the meta title, the headers, how many H1 headers, how many H2 headers. It'll tell you about the keywords, all that good stuff. So we would recommend that you grab that tool. So just Google it, find it, the Mangles free Chrome extension. It's very useful and you can run that over your own site. So do that when we get a new website into our client list. That's one of the very first things we'll do. We'll open their website and we'll press that button and we'll look through all of their pages to make sure that they've got meta titles, make sure they've got one H1 header, so not two. It's like an essay, you're going to have one main header. We'll make sure that the images have alt text, all that sort of good stuff. The next thing you do if the H1, etc. is down here, H1 to H6 heading structure is logical and consistent. So again, use that tool. It will tell you if these are out of line. So you should have one H1 and they should be followed by H2s. These are kind of the size of the headers. I won't go on about this for too long. Just suffice to say that on-page SEO checkups are a good idea. You want to make sure that your pages are consistent with how they're done with the H1s, H2s. Make sure they've got good meta titles and do keep an eye on the meta descriptions as well. We've had several clients recently say, hey, look, Corey, we've looked at our pages on Google search, and when we see, we see our meta title is what we've got on the tool that we use for our website, but the meta description down here is not what we've got. And again, like I said before, the reason for that is that Google is trying to align the meta descriptions on their search with what people actually want. So if your meta description that you've put on the page doesn't align with what Google wants, they'll grab something from the page instead. So that's something to consider as well. Make sure that your images have descriptive alt text or alt text. So again, we recommend you use a tool for that. We use this one, the Indexy SEO extension. It's quite new. You'll find that on the Chrome store. It's by a guy we follow called Jackie online. You'll see it up here on my browser. It looks like that, a little blue square with a line. When you run that over a page, it will give you information about the page, much like the Mangles one, but it'll give you, it'll tell you if they have alt text or not. Again, not a huge thing. Like there's way bigger things you can do for SEO than this, but it's useful to run that across your site as well, just as a checklist thing. This might take you 1 minute. The next one is to make sure your internal linking strategy is intact. Now, what that just means is look at your website and make sure that you've got internal links on your website. So pages on your blog link to each other. The best example of this on the planet is Wikipedia. Okay, Wikipedia is a giant encyclopedia online. It only links in the content to other Wikipedia pages. Down the bottom, it'll link to external references for that content. But internal linking is kind of like Wikipedia. Make sure that you're linking to areas of your website from your other pages. So if you've got a blog article about a certain topic, it might link to other blog articles you've got on certain topics. You can also link externally to other sites on the website. That's a good idea on the internet. That's also a good idea. Make sure that you're linking to the important pages too. So you're linking back to the sales pages there where you want to sell your products and services. So it's on-page SEO in a nutshell right there. Now, number 4 is to conduct a content review. So let's work through these 4. Content review just means, is our content still what we want to have on the website based on how we want to appear on Google and other search engines? Is it right for the people we're trying to appeal to, etc.? So I'll give you a quick example of this one. Outdated content has been updated or pruned. So we've got a client whose website has been around for quite a while, and it had built up lots and lots of blog articles and lots of content, and we were getting mild SEO results with it. But last year we decided to trim, really trim. We took the chainsaw to this website and we took out about half of the blog posts that we used Google Search Console. We looked at all of the pages that were getting very little clicks or no clicks at all, and we just got rid of them. So we went through them strategically. Most of them were quite old, and we deleted a whole bunch of content that was not really useful anymore. And Google was telling us wasn't useful because they weren't sending any traffic to them. Then, with the remaining pages, we updated them, made sure that they had good headers, they were nicely spaced out, they were aligned to a certain keyword, they had links to other pages on the website, all that sort of good stuff. And the results for that particular website have been amazing. Super competitive space that they're in, and updating their content has been really an amazing thing. So I recommend you do that. I might try and find some other articles to link in here later, but just keep in mind that old content might not be useful anymore. Google might not like it. Google Search Console will tell you which pages are getting seen and which aren't. So just keep that in mind. Now, the next thing to do is the top ranking pages. Are they still good? So make sure you're tracking your keyword results. What that means is we use Mangles. Now, I'll just highlight this. We use Mangles as opposed to Ahrefs or SEMrush because it's way cheaper and gives us enough information without overwhelming. So sometimes people sign up to the really big SEO tools and they spend all day in there, and really that's not that useful. Sometimes it's like standing outside the gym and thinking about your workout for 3 days without going into the gym. You've got to get into the gym. So we use Mangles. This is an affiliate link. So we do, if people click there and buy their tool, we would get a small percentage of that. It's the only affiliate link we've got at the moment anywhere around. So that's just so you know. So we use that for lots of reasons, but we track keywords for clients. Okay, so look at all of the parts of your website. Are you still ranking well for the words you want to rank for? If not, why not? So I guess suffice to say for this, make sure you know your bullseye phrase, your most important phrase you want to win on Google. Make sure you know another sort of 5 to 10 important keywords and phrases you want to rank for, and just track them and make sure that you're going well. And ask yourself that question: if you're not going well, why? Okay. Now, the next thing you should do is look at your keywords. Now, I might click on this one. So Keyword Finder is another Mangles tool. So what you can do with this is you can search your website in here, find the keywords. Now, I won't go into this too deeply. I'll help my paid members with this a little bit more. But it will give you a whole bunch of words and phrases for your website, and it'll tell you the intent. So you can click on a little intent button and it'll say, these people are trying to purchase this thing or whatever. So go to Keyword Finder and just put your website through that. Okay, suffice to say for this step, go to Keyword Finder by Mangles and run your website through there, and you'll be able to compare and contrast with some of your competition to see if your stuff matches what people on Google are searching for or not compared to your competitors. Very powerful thing to do. Because at the end of the day, what are we trying to do with Google search? We're trying to find people looking to buy our thing. Okay. Right. Let's move on. Again, this step could be an entire week of training, but we're just going to say go to Mangles Keyword Finder, put your domain in there, and compare and contrast to your competition. Right. This next one, as above you'll see on Keyword Finder, there's also a button called Opportunities. Okay, this again is really powerful. Mangles has added this Opportunities button. For example, we did one earlier today, and it told us that for this particular client, that lots of their competition weren't using keywords in the meta description. So that's something we're working on, is to improve their meta descriptions so that we can outrank the people above them, because Mangles has said this is probably the best thing you can do or the easiest win you can get. So again, just go to Keyword Finder. There's other expensive tools that can do this for you as well, but honestly, I think Keyword Finder has Mangles Keyword Finder has added such a powerful tool to their suite here that you should grab that one. Okay, I'm going to try and speed up because I don't want this video to be too long. I know that some of you guys might spend half a day going through this. I want you to be able to get through it in a timely fashion and get the results. Now, backlinks and authority. Big point, okay? When I do my reports to clients, for the last 6 months, I keep saying to them, you are getting much better results on Google because we're focusing on the main fundamental thing that Google is built on, which is backlinks. We're getting better, more relevant backlinks for your business, and that is doing a great job at getting you in front of Google. So backlinks are super important. Toxic or spammy backlinks being disavowed and reviewed. Honestly, you'll know if you have some issues with bad backlinks linking to your website. You'll see that on Google Search Console. Usually, it doesn't even matter if they're there anyway. Okay, so sometimes people think that it's an issue and it's not. 9 times out of 10, when somebody comes into my inbox and says, Corey, I think we've been attacked with some toxic backlinks or spammy backlinks, they are there sometimes they're not. When they are there, sometimes it doesn't matter. Google can see that they're rubbish links and doesn't really worry about it. But you can go through a process of disavowing them on Google Search Console if required. Really, is that required? Now, are you looking at your backlink profile? So you can use tools for this. We use Mangles. Again, we use the little extension up there. We click on there and we go to look at full analysis, and it shows us that the backlinks, the graph is trending upwards in terms of good, relevant backlinks coming in. So again, this is something that we do for clients all the time. We're looking at the backlink profile, who's linking to them, who's not. We're looking for backlinks. We're writing guest posts for other websites with links to them. We're writing articles about suppliers of theirs, etc. So suffice to say that you need to check your backlink profile from time to time. So go and Google, check my backlink profile, find some tools or sign up to one, and that will do the heavy lifting for you. Because again, the backlink profile of a business is really, really important. It's so important that Google built their entire search engine on it, okay? And this last tip here is, have you got at least a few good backlinks in the last year? I'd say even more than that. You want to be getting a couple of backlinks per month, but again, it's a competitive landscape, so it's based on what your competition is doing. So if your competitors aren't getting good backlinks, one good backlink for every couple of months will do the job. I highly recommend you click on this link and go to our article about this on our blog, how to get safe backlinks. Okay, go through this article. It's very, very useful. However, I'm biased. I wrote the thing, so don't pay too much attention to me. So backlinks, really important. Are you getting them? Learn how. Now, the next step is a little bit different. This is more about user experience, which just means UX is a fancy phrase that people online use. It just means, what do people actually do and think of your website? What is a website for? It's for a human to visit and look at and interact with at the end of the day. Like all good software, at the end of the day, a human's got to use it. So make sure it's clear and logical. Ask lots of people, does my website make sense? What are you looking at? What do you click on? Remove stuff that gets in the way. We've got a video here from YouTube that's pretty old now, but it's useful. It's called the 12-year-old website test. So go to our YouTube channel, find the video called What is the 12-year-old website test? It simply talks about giving people 30 seconds to look at your website and asking them, what did you look at? What do you think we do? Who are we? Where are we? What do we sell? How do you get the thing? So is it all super obvious? Because there's nothing worse than finding a website and not knowing where to go and where to click and all that stuff. Okay, so it's just basic common sense. Apply common sense. Remember, everything about your industry. Your customers don't, so make it easy for them. Okay, on that note, are the calls to action visible and are they converting? Really obvious stuff. Make sure people can look at your website and know where to click to get in touch. And again, no intrusive pop-ups or poor signals. Really, that's up to you. So if you want to have a pop-up on your website about an email list, that's up to you. It does help email sign up. Sometimes it does kill a little bit of engagement and sales signals being followed through. Again, talk to your customers, talk to friends, talk to people online, maybe do some swaps with other business owners. Hey, I'll check out your website, you check out mine. It's well worth it because people might go, hey, did you notice this typo? Did you notice this pop-up's in a weird spot? I can't see that link. Just talk to people about your website. Rightio, local SEO is your Google. So local SEO just means, I've put if applicable because for some businesses it's not applicable. Okay, if you've got a software business that sells to people all around the world, then local SEO isn't your thing. If you've got a business that serves a local area, usually this is really important. So Google Business Profile, is it accurate and is it active? Are you using it? Does it get found? So we've published a lot of stuff about Google Business Profile. Find our content on YouTube, Substack, and our blog, and make sure your Google Business Profile is accurate. Okay. The next thing is to check that your local citations are consistent. So NAP. What does that mean? What that means is name, address, phone number, website. Your business will appear on directories and citations like Yellow, Firepool, Silex, Yelp. There's tons of them. Is it consistent? So you could go to Google and Google this, check NAP consistency SEO, and you'll find a bunch of tools. Run your website through that. Make sure that it's all the same. You don't want inconsistent URLs or phone numbers. Make sure it's the same format. If your format is different each time, that's a problem. Google likes consistency. Okay, do not confuse Google. You will pay the price. There is a really good tool that we use and we recommend called My Presences. So if you Google My Presences, you'll find it. It's a really cool tool from a guy called Paul over in Brisbane, Australia, and you can get a free trial, pop your name in there. This is one we've done earlier today for Life's Next Stage. It'll tell you all about the listings that your business has online. There's quite a few tools that will do this. Your goal is to figure out if there is consistency across the internet. Okay, we've got a VA, a virtual assistant, who does this for our clients as well. We're constantly adding citations and directories. We're checking any new ones, making sure that they're all consistent and they look the same. So make sure that you are consistent is really important. And the last step for local SEO is, are you actually getting local reviews? Make sure you're getting Google reviews. This is so important for so many reasons. It's important for your Google Business Profile listing. It's important for your general SEO. It's important for converting visitors to customers. So we've got an article about that, how to get more Google reviews. Go and find that one. You only need one or two systems to work for your business to be winning in this space. But consistency is the magic trick. If somebody's new and they're competing with you and they're getting Google reviews faster than you are, that is going to hurt you. You might have 100, they might have 5, but if they're getting them consistently, then they'll beat you in the long run. So make sure you're getting Google reviews. Okay, last two areas, analytics and tracking. Make sure that you've got your Google Analytics or some analytics tool connected. Make sure your Search Console is connected. Just check that. Conversion tracking and goals are functioning. What that means is Google Tag Manager or some of the tool that will track people through your site. If you've got that in play, make sure it's still working. And the last step here is to review your year-on-year traffic. Now, what we do here is we simply go to Google Search Console and we expand it to the longest time frame possible. At the moment, that is 16 months. And we just look and compare and contrast and make sure that the traffic to the website is not going down. Now, we've got clients that have been destroying their opposition on Google for 2 and 3 years now. So for them, they are ranking up the top of everything in their area. So they're going to want to have sort of a flat line of Google Search Console because there's only so many eyeballs out there. You just don't want to be going down. Ideally, you're flat or going up. Okay, if your website is new or your SEO activities are new, you want to see the lines on Google Search Console going up. Just be across your data. Learn more about your data. Talk to people about your data. Ask the question, what does this mean? How can I make it better? Those two questions never go old in this game. Okay, last section before we finish up. Hopefully you've watched right to the end. Hopefully you subscribe to the channel. And hopefully you remember that we've got 4 options over here. We've got do this yourself for free. We're going to have an option on Gumroad at $10 to get the actual document as well. You've got the paid group, and then you've got pay me to do it for you if you want to. So there are all the things you can do. So the last step is algorithm and industry changes. Now, really, this is just a matter of paying attention to people like myself, join some email lists, watch some YouTube videos. Make sure that you know what's going on, okay? Get on our Substack list. You're on my YouTube channel. Follow other people. I'm not going to call out people, but there are some good names around. There's one referred to down here, Kyle Roof. There's a whole bunch of people around here you can follow, and just make sure that they are good, reputable sources of information. This next step is really interesting. So at the moment, lots of people are talking about, is SEO dead? How can you get found by AI search? Blah, blah, blah. I keep commenting saying, look, to me, it looks like fundamental SEO is still winning. So if you're doing the right things for SEO, you're generally going to win on AI search as well. So just keep that in mind. Yes, things are changing. They're changing a lot. So people are going to ChatGPT and asking very specific questions. It's still got to find the information somewhere. Okay, Chat doesn't have an index like Google does. So you've still got to be online. You've still got to be doing all of the fundamental SEO things correctly to get found on Chat. Use high authority places like LinkedIn, Facebook, etc. to show that you are an authority, and then you'll win. Okay, so that's that point covered, which leads into the next step. Now, this phrase came out over the last few years, which was talking about how Google was changing its search to EEAT, which stands for experience, expertise, authority, and trust. So is this person or blog experienced? Have they been around? Do they have deep expertise? Like, what are their qualifications? Do they have that authority? Where else are they online? And can we trust this person? Have they got reviews, etc.? So make sure that you tick those boxes. We've got 2 tools here. This one here is called quickcreator.io. You'll find that if you click on there. And then the other one is outline.ninja. So if you look up Page Optimizer Pro by Kyle Roof, he's got some really good stuff in this space. So, or you can just go to Google and Google, how do I improve my EEAT? How do I improve my EEAT? And then you will get some notes about things you should do. It's even things like basic stuff, like up here I've got by Corey Hinde, which links to my LinkedIn profile. That's a strong EEAT move because LinkedIn is a high authority website in the eyes of everything online, Google, AI, etc. So a real LinkedIn profile, a real name, they'll look at that and go, oh, this guy's been around, so therefore he must know what he's doing, which we hope is the case. Right, that's the video. That's the checklist. Make sure you work through all of those things. And if you have any problems, comment below. If you're in my paid group, we can help you work on this stuff. If you're doing this for yourself, there's tons of information out there on Google. If you need help with this stuff, feel free to reach out. Something which is relatively new for us is the paid group. Okay, it's $19 per month. That's New Zealand dollars, so it's not a hell of a lot. And then we will help people through this stuff. I've done that for several reasons. Part one is I actually really like helping people to achieve things. Natural sort of coach. So I like helping people work through things and chatting to them online to solve a problem. I've got some very big followings online, and I can't assign lots of time to people for free. It would take up all of my day, and that's not a great way to run a business. So the pay group is kind of new. Consider joining. It might be a good option for you. But if you are a bigger business and you just don't want to do this stuff, you'd just rather get a report and get half of it or most of it covered off, then consider that one too. Anyway, thanks for watching right to the end. I really appreciate it. Comments below, sharing the video, all that good stuff. Greatly appreciated as well. Bye for now.